Welcome back. It's me, Gracie Gray. I wanted to film this video. I don't do a lot of long form content. I do mostly short form content. If you found my channel, you can probably tell. I post on, also here's my fit, here's the fit. Yeah, we rocking the orange today. That's my favorite color if you couldn't tell. But I wanted to talk a little bit about where I see myself going and what the ultimate goals are. And, again, I make all of my content, this is Toby, for myself, for me to look back on when I have made it. Now, I say made it in parentheses because I think that I already have made it. I think that I've made it in getting the opportunity to live my life and see all of my moments and all of my stories and all of my memories as, I just take them as the experience they are. I just kind of get to love the journey and, yada, yada. But I always say 4 years. 4 years is what I say. I won't cut my hair for 4 years. I will have made it big in the music industry by 4 years from now. And I will have, the big house and, be living my dream. I think I already am. I think the minute you decide this is what I'm going to do with my life and you commit to yourself to never give up on it, I think that's the moment you make it. But I always say 4 years is when the world's going to catch up. It's going to be so fun when my hair is that long and it's gonna be so fun. So your hair grows around 6 inches a year, so it's gonna be like 24 inches long. And I have really wavy hair, so it's gonna be so funny. Anyway, I have always been good at making up songs, right? It's just come naturally since I was a kid. I just would sit in my playroom all day. I was an only child, all day long, and just for like hours and hours, just keep singing. I remember one time, I don't play the piano. I don't know how to play the piano. I think it would be a good skill to learn. I have a MIDI keyboard, but that's besides the point. But my grandparents had this really big piano like in their living room. It actually used to be at our house, but then we gave it to my grandparents, gave it back to them. And I remember one time just kind of like pressing the keys back and forth. And I think I like told my mom, I was like, I'm going to have a conversation between the deep end of the piano and the high end, and I like sang almost like a duet between the two ends of the piano, and it was just kind of intuitive, but I knew it sounded right. And so the biggest hiccup for me right now is learning how to use the tools. So, music production software, learning how to use that to effectively communicate the music I want to create and make it more accessible to other people. Right now, I know what it's supposed to sound like. So I get to enjoy the music that I create in my head and what comes naturally. But the rest of the world doesn't get to enjoy that because I haven't learned the tools outside of myself. I have not made those external tools a part of me yet. So that's a big hiccup. It's kind of like the software and the MIDI keyboard and the idea of the digital workspace is daunting. I am scared of it. I'm scared to introduce myself to it. I'm scared to get to know it because once I get to know it, once it becomes second nature, it will become a part of me. So I think there's part of me that's a little bit scared. Just, I'm intimidated. What if I can't do it right? What if I can never, get to know how to use it to that degree? What if it doesn't like me? What if our energies don't match? Kind of personifying the production software if you haven't caught on. But I think I will be able to do it. It's just a very difficult hurdle to hop over right now. Now, this book, I've heard so many good things about it. I did the first week already. I have got to read the second week. I'm doing that today. It's my off day. Tuesdays are always my off day. But the morning pages I've been loving. I already love writing, you know, just kind of like brain dump in like a brain dump way. But after having read how she recommends doing morning pages, I have stopped editing while I am writing, and I refuse to look back on it as well. She says not to read it for at least like the first 8 weeks. I just don't think I ever will, you know what I mean? Until it's like years from now and I can look back at where I was at. Oh, this is so random. I next week am getting like a sun tattoo right here, and I am so excited about it. My piercer works in the same shop as this tattoo artist, and that's how I found out about her. And so next Tuesday, I'm going to get this piercing checked up on, because that was the last piercing I got, and I missed our last appointment. I missed the checkup appointment, and I had a whole bunch of issues with it, but it's healed now, I think. So I'm going to have her look at that and then immediately go into my tattoo appointment. She said it's going to take like an hour and a half, so I'm a little nervous, a little excited. I asked about numbing it. She was like, you should be fine, so we'll see. But yeah, I always say 4 years. I always say 4 years I will have really made it. The world will have caught on. But yeah, all this to say, future Grace, I'm putting in the work. I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it for past Grace. You know, thankfully she got us this far. Past Grace got us this far. She got us in this apartment by, you know, herself. She got, you know, she has collected our 3 cats. You know, she worked to get us here. She got us our job that we love for right now. That is something too. I think from an external perspective, some people may see my life and be like, why can't you just be content with that? You know, I am happy nearly all the time. I embody the emotion of joy and love as much as I possibly can. I have turned it into my baseline. You know, it used to be depression. That used to be my baseline emotion, but now it is joy and love. And I always say, I when I get in my car after work, I'm still smiling. You know, it's not like I drop. It's just I'm still happy and joyful. So I think a lot of people could see my life and be like, why can't you be content with that? I live by myself. I have pets. I have enough money that I can get all of my necessities and more. I took myself on a trip this year. You know, all of that, right? But they don't really see that, you know, they can't see the vision I have for myself. And they cannot understand that I know I will make it. I know that that is my future. And it goes beyond hoping and believing. Knowing is a different thing. It's like knowing that this can is orange. I know it. You know, I know it to be true. That's how I see my future. I do not blame people for not understanding me. I am very private. I don't overextend myself to make other people understand me. I don't really think that's my place. They get to choose how to perceive me. They can see me in a positive light, a negative light, but that's not really my responsibility. It's not really my place to sorry, I'm nauseous. Oh my god, that's so gross. But that's not really my place to convince people to see me in a certain light. But yeah, I am just constantly manifesting and constantly working towards my dreams and not beating myself up for taking my time. So especially with this music production software hurdle, I've been saying that I will learn it for months. And there, a couple months back, I really was trying. Like, I would open it up every day and like work with it a little bit. But I have been extremely tired these past few weeks. I'm not exactly sure why, but it's just like kind of like an overarching feeling of exhaustion. I definitely think I need to cut back on caffeine. I definitely think that's something that I should work towards quitting, or at least taking a break from it, so that when I do utilize it, it actually is effective. But yeah, all this to say, I like to make these videos to document. I just realized my windows aren't open. I gotta open those for my cats. But all this to say, I like making these as a way to document the journey. And short form content, long form content, writing, reading, I do it all for me. I do not care what other people think of me. I really, truly don't. And a lot of people say that, but they don't necessarily mean it. But I have found the more times you say things over and over and over, the more you will believe them and the more that they will become fact in your mind. I used to joke every single day at work, how are you doing? I'm having a great day as always. And over a couple months, it became truth. Your brain doesn't know the difference between sarcasm and being genuine. It just hears what it hears and takes it at face value. So yeah, every day is a good day. I am constantly learning. I am constantly striving to be a better person. And 4 years from now, I will be 27. My hair will be extremely long. And being on stage will not be a question. It'll really just be about scheduling. Oh, when are we doing this? When am I doing this concert? What are the dates for the tour? Da 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 da. Asking the cat sitter how my cats are doing. You know what I mean? And I believe that. It is my truth. I know that to be true. So, if you made it this far, I'm Gracie Gray. Feel free to tag along. Love you guys. Mwah.